Check, 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 check. All right. Hopefully the alert has gone out to everyone in the server, and hopefully you guys will be joining me here. For now, though, it's just me right here today. Round 6 of the third season of LOS is your boy Vifix back on the mic after that 1 week hiatus, sabbatical, whatever you want to call it. Hopefully, I'm joined by Sid, Venkatesh, your dear steward, as the session progresses. But yeah, should be hopefully a good one here in Silverstone. It is a sprint weekend, of course. Um, lots of familiar faces here and a lot of old ones as well. Old is gold. We have Racing Gupta, the comeback, the return, uh, a hiatus that lasted longer than Liz Truss's prime ministership. But yeah, that was an absolute blessed scenes right there. But yeah, anyway, as we move on to this weekend, what are the talking points? Yash Gosalia, the man who is on an absolute roll right now. He's won 3 races this season, and more importantly for his championship challenge, he has won the last 2. So these rivals, the likes of Ahif, Jishnu, Shadow Sword, and to an extent even his teammate in Wicket Wiki, they will be hoping and they will need a good result out of themselves, and they will need Gosalia to start stumbling now, because so far, aside from a thing that happened in Baku, which was the last sprint race. So if you take stock into superstitions, then maybe you are a bit hopeful if you're those guys. But yeah, the last sprint race in Baku, I mean the feature race in Baku, the main race, was really the last time we saw him like make an error. Pretty much the only error we've seen him make the whole season long. And that's why he's in the lead of the championship, because he's made the fewest mistakes so far. Meanwhile, oh my god, Chugs with a violent spin there. Of I actually can't make out which corner that was. Okay, right at turn 1 of the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. So yeah, a lot of cars going out. A lap just been set by Raman 5 minutes into the session. So I'm not one to encourage people to, that you need to set a lap in quali. But if you are going to set one, you should probably get a move on. Right now, Shadow crosses the line. He's at 29.4. I'm going to assume that those are race runs that he's doing right now, or just runs for the sprint race. Here it does make more sense to do it, because you're not going straight into quali. You're going into a 9-lap mini race. Hopefully, those tire temperatures on Redstone's car are not what they actually look like. If they are, then that is a mad thing he's done there by putting a 128.2. Gosalia sets a 128.1 and on negative 33 degrees of tire temp. So, yeah, if that is the case, then get the esports contracts ready, boys. But yeah, 4 lap time sets so far. We have our boy, I think everyone's sentimental favorite here, unless you are in the Middle East right now. Racing Gupta, back. It's been a long time coming. Hopefully, the rust wears off soon enough and he can get back to what we know he is capable of. And everyone should know what he's capable of. His results, he's been to the podium a lot. His pace hasn't necessarily reflected how many times he should have been on the top step, but in terms of just pace, he is definitely up there. As Thakurva now is talking about pace, there's a 27.9, and Thakurva, one of the quicker drivers here, but just like with the likes of Shadow, who I believe has possessed the quality so far to lead this championship. So have the likes of Ahib and Jishnu, but they just keep having their races or their qualities bungled up in some way, so they need to expend extra, which is why I don't think Yash has had a particularly bad qualifying outing anytime recently. And the same goes for his races, except for the Baku incident. He's been largely faultless so far. But yeah, I will try and take you on through a hot lap with someone once they do a second run. Hopefully, we see somebody out there on track going to do a run, but pretty quiet lull in the proceedings right now. So let's just wait, shall we? And now the house boys have come out, so they want a clear track. I assume they don't want to be held up by anyone. They're just trying to get through this entire process because it is very easy to get lap times invalidated and stuff like that. So hopefully they can do their laps. And speaking of house boys, only I have started on track so far, not Jishnu. So I guess we will just wait for Ahif to start his lap until then, and take you through on a hot lap with him. Until then, I'm just gonna keep on scrolling through people and seeing where they are right now. Again, a suspicious amount of people not doing laps. Are they saving sets of tires for the um, sprint, I guess. Kalyan is very wide, but he keeps the lap validated. A 31.3. I think that's another race run right there. A lot of runs of races coming in here right now. But as we look on, uh, just waiting around now. Redstone, as I have started his lap. Hopefully, yeah, he just has. So on to the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight into the first corner. Abbey goes through farm right there. Pretty well done. Now it's a nice break, nice and tight here through the slow section of the village, and now just really quiet on the braking. Car wants to get away from me here. This car is naturally having lesser downforce, but you want to run a skinnier package in Silverstone because of the nature of the track, which will make it very, very difficult to get it stopped for entry. Now he's just about able to keep the car. The car does not want to turn in that direction, and he's able to keep it posted up now into this corner, where surely nothing ever controversial has happened that will make the comment section erupt. But yeah, very, very clean through there. Now on to the infamous, the most famous corners on the F1 calendar, not in Monaco, Maggots, Beckett's, and he navigates that well. Um, Now on to Hanger Straight. Just watching around. Hopefully that car ahead doesn't hold him up. He goes into Stowe. Now he needs a good exit off of this. Very easy to invalidate there and overshoot and invalidate. Now breaking in for the penultimate corner. Now the car once again will not want to be turning in this direction, but he keeps it all clean, and he does a 28.4 to send himself into the top 5. That's a nice lap time right there from Ahif. I think he was taking it quite safe on that lap, though. He left a lot of margin out there, and of course you can leave a bit more margin in this session because in a way this session doesn't matter as much as the other ones, as any other session would, because this is not the final order for qualifying. This is just setting up a grid. 4 viewers on stream. Hopefully more will join later, and please comment something if you do, cause Oxidize Rage, it sets the fastest lap for your enjoyment. And Thakurva was so happy that he's spun out on his out lap, which bold strategy there to warm up your tires. But yeah, we're on Yash Gosalia also on his lap. Redstone now is about to come to the end of his lap. His easy level has joined. Hopefully he's able to raise 6 viewers now, so hopefully that's working. And easy level does improve. He does 28.2. I think, does he improve his position? Was he 4th or 5th before chat? Let me know. But meanwhile, Gosalia through the first sector, I don't see that flashing purple right there. So did he improve? No, he is down. So he's down by 90,000. So Silverstone, once again, it's a track where track evolution necessarily not that effective, because it's a lot of flat out it's not flat out, less flat out than the last game, so it should have more of an impact on this one. But let's see what he does through the middle sector timing line. Uh, what sort of times can he put on board here? He is up. That is a purple sector. And now watch the Mercedes there giving him way. And Easy Level is in the session. He immediately retires. Because he joined it. Oh, and that's an invalidation right there from Gonzalez. It was close for pole. Luckily for him, he still has 6 minutes to try out something. Meanwhile, Jishnu went third fastest, and Thakurva has just blitzed that first sector time right there. Now we are, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, at the conclusion of this qualifying session, more than halfway through the season now. But it is only 10 races. But if you want to seriously contend for a title, and these are probably the last races where you can assert yourself as a title contender, because if you win like 2 or 3 in a row, even in Thakur's position, he could still be in the title fight. His pace this season has suggested that he should be there, as he absolutely slaps up that middle sector right there. But just getting the small errors out of the way would help him 100%. And as he goes, he invalidates as well. What's with you guys? What's with this invalidation right there at the exit of Stowe? I just don't understand. It was such a good lap as well. Could have definitely left it. Yeah, look at that, just 27.7. I'm pretty sure he slowed down afterwards. And why did he finish the lap? And if he invalidated it, I don't understand that. But anyway, Gupta, Raman, and Thakur out on track as somebody who goes into the top side. Caesar finally does a lap at 28.2. I don't believe in that last sector being fastest, because if it was, then he had a absolute mare in the first two, considering he is 4 tenths off with a purple. I think that was Raman actually, or Anton, one of them who went 9th just now. Actually, I think it was Anton, because Raman's is under 20 at 5.77 from the beginning of the session. Is Caesar going for the 2 hot lap strategy? No, his fuel doesn't suggest so. It's just a long wait right now. Meanwhile, Gupta is, I think he is doing the 2 hot lap strategy that I commented on. Abhi is still in the pits and not retiring for some reason. I mean, if you're not going to do quali, everyone who's not going to do quali has already not done it, so I just retire somebody else now into the top 10. I think that was just Chugs putting himself up there. So it's tough to keep track of this, but yeah, as I'm following Gupta right now, is he just doing race runs, or does he have a grander scheme in mind? Let me just get confirmation on Sid's side whether he's showing up or whether this is his solo show for tonight. But what time did he do in the? Oh, he's already invalidated his lap. So yeah. Meanwhile, the heavy hitters in the front going out for their final run now. We'll follow them on. Redstone actually a bit out of sync with the other fasteners, because he's already on his outlap. The others will just be coming out as right now. So you see that Redstone already at the hangar straight, and Wicked Wiki has just come out of the pit. So it will be Redstone who puts the gauntlet down. So it was Captain Sandhu, I think, who just goes P3 right now. Captain Sandhu, and I was just going to come on to this topic right here. He has definitely been fast. He has, if you look at all the races so far, Chad, it has definitely been Ferraris versus Alpha Tauris. But I feel Captain Sandhu, he's just been putting it in the walls a slight bit too much this season for Alpha Tauri to have a real shot at constructors. They're still somewhat in it. They are P3 right now. But his pace should suggest that he should have more points than how many he has right now. Hopefully for his sake he can have a clean GP, because I think he has earned it at this point. As Easy Level leaves the session again. I don't understand. But yeah, following on Redstone, he goes a 10th faster in the first sector. So he wants to set this lap on a clean part of track. Of course, the others will be going out on a slightly more evolved track than this. How did Raman get his lap taken away? Okay, that's some ninjutsu right there. But meanwhile, Redstone is following through as Captain Sonu left this session. Hopefully, he gets reinvited. Has Redstone invalidated? He has. how many invalidations in this session? I just don't understand. Even our pole sitter Oxidize is invalidated. I didn't even notice he was on a hot lap. So yeah, and does he have enough fuel to go around and do another lap? I assume that Redstone does, but he'll have to do this on one tires now, compared to everyone else. And that first sector was looking very tasty indeed. So I think that might be a tenth that he's lost, no matter how well of a lap that he does. But he comes across the line now. We're looking on for everyone in this session. Jishnu about to finish his lap. He hasn't invalidated this yet. Uh, Now we break in for the last corner. He's coming up to the line now. Okay, I think this is his outlap because the timing screen. Yeah, it was his outlap. Redstone and who was it? Thakurwa or some lap? No, he's about to start the lap. I think Wicked Vicky should be on a lap considering when he went out. Yeah, he is 30,000 up in through the first sector. Ahib about to cross the timing line. Gupta 36,000 up on his lap. Wicked Vicky at 10th up now. This is gonna leave him around the top 5, but it's very, very close there. You could cut that with a knife. Um, it's really close through there. So any lost time would be critical to not lose any time. Right through the last corner. Now, what does he set as? Is that Yash Gosalia? Crashed out. No, who was that? Forgive me for my color blindness. That was Chugs. Sorry for that clerical error. But Redstone, yeah, he's not as much iron. He's gone so wide. No, Redstone. No, I don't think that will stand right there. That's an easy report. So he does go P4, but yeah. I prefer really not to speak in this moment. Thakur Singh invalidated again. And he was on pace for pole as well. Oxygen is not going to improve. IF goes 19,000 slower than Thakurva. Yash Gosalia is also invalidated, guys. Meanwhile, Caesar is on a hot one. He has not invalidated yet. So let's see when he can put this machine, this Alpine. Caesar is Mr. Lord of Races. Otherwise, he was definitely the pre-incumbent title favorite. What does he do? He comes across the line, he beats it, he goes on pole. It is 27-7-1-8. And I think as Shadow Sword, I completely forgot about Shadow through this session as this session went on, because we didn't really see him out on track or setting any lap times, but better late than never. He goes P2, and with Yash Gosalia all the way down in P10, that is a very, very nice. That he will be very happy about that, considering P10 does not get points in the sprint. Any small amount of points that he can cut into, he has a 31-point deficit, to my memory, if I'm correct, to Yash. So, yeah, sprint race coming up now, lads. But that was a qualifying session. It really picked up towards the end. Your top 3: Caesar, Shadow, Oxidize, off of quali. Yeah, I think the likes of Thakurva, Redstone, and actually I don't know what happened to Jishnu at the end. Did he invalidate as well? I'm assuming he did. Doesn't show that he invalidated on the minimap though. You can check it out. But yeah, I think those guys will be kicking themselves here. I think they definitely had the pace to take pole, especially Yash Gosalia, because he's all the way down in P10, and he was definitely on for something. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on that quali. Check the Discord server now to see if anything's popping up. Something happened in the pit exit. I don't know. I'm just a commentator, and Caesar with that post right there. Shadow Sword in P2. Hopefully that number does not curse him how far he's behind. Oxidize returns behind Caesar in P3. Thakurva in P4. IF P5. Captain Sandhu P6. Restaurant P7. Wicked Vicky P8. Jishnu P9. Yash Gosalia P10. Gupta 11th. Anton Hypers 12th. Chugs 13th. Quick Killer 14th. Kalyan Verma 15th, Abhi 16th, Raman 17th, who somehow managed to get his lap time invalidated and not get disqualified, which I don't understand how that works. Easy Level in 18th, and then Abhishek and Mosquito, who both got disqualified from this session. So, yeah, that is your qualifying order for the day. Now we head into the sprint race. There are points in this, and every point in the championship matters at this point. Did I make my point clear? Hopefully I did. Um, you know, we try and it's quite overcast, but no rain, no rain on the horizon here. If there's a weather change in the middle of the sprint race, though, that could prove to be a tasty one. Because normally there's no reason for you to be pitting during a sprint race. Now, last time around in Baku in that sprint race, no one really took a risk on tires. I think everyone was on mediums. Will someone take a gamble at Silverstone? You would think maybe. Maybe they would, because it is very difficult to overtake here through the DRS trains, and you need some sort of advantage in those opening laps to have a good getaway. Uh, Let me know if you think anyone will take a gamble, and it'll all be revealed right here whether anyone has. And no, no gambles again. So that setup was kind of wasted by me on this topic. But everyone on mediums. It is overcast. It's going to be more difficult to build up temperature. And as you can see, Shadow Sword has taken the lead of the pack from Caesar. So he's trying to lead the pack so that he can decide when control the pace of the pack here. So his tires are more in line with what he wants everyone to be. And Caesar is not really trying to overtake him. So maybe he's comfortable letting him handle that. Uh, what's your Rashi? What's happening here? Now Caesar trying to move around the outside. These guys are not waiting around for lap 1, are they? They just want to get on with it. It seems. Yeah, every single move right now, it has a lot of consequences for the championship, given it's such a short one. So if I was Shadow, I mean Caesar himself could still be a title contender for all we know. Let me check how many points he's behind. If he doesn't miss any more races, of course. Caesar is 61 points behind. Now that might seem a lot to you viewers, but you know, a bit of misfortune here and there for drivers, and suddenly 61 points becomes nothing, even in the short races that we have, the length. And if somebody catches momentum now in the season, in a short season, it's even more difficult to get that guy off his momentum, because you really don't have much time to reset the balance, as Caesar is once again just briskly taking him through now these final corners. Predicted pit stop strategy, 0 stops. Hopefully that rings true. Very, very slow through the last section there from Caesar. You could see visually how much the pack caught up. And who's that? Is that Chugs? Yeah, Chugs just doing his own formation lap strat. That's a absolute baller level play there. Let me respect Caesar now and line himself up on the grid. Will Shadow tilt the car? Wouldn't really make much sense here. I think it's a really short run up. So now no Shadows. Oh no, Thakurva. They have disqualified themselves, and now they will be forced to start a bit further behind. Hopefully that doesn't impact their race for their sake too much, as Chugs does DSQ himself. And so does Anton, and I try and find a good angle that the game gives me. Okay, we're gonna have to deal with this one. 5 red lights out, and away we go. Caesar gets a good launch right there, and he covers off Shadow Sword pretty quickly. There's a bad start right there from Oxidize, as Ihif gets a brilliant start, and there's already contact of Captain Sandura right there. And what's happened up front? I can't see anything. Yash goes, what's happened to Yash? Yeah, she spun around. As Redstone gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, I don't know what was happening in that case. It is chaos at the start here, and surely, I see a Red Bull, a McLaren and a Red Bull. A lot of cars spun off in the distance right there. A lot of cars just, this is making up a new Silverstone layout right there. A Shadow who had lost his position to Oxidize gets it back. Now Oxidize will try it, and surely if you're Shadow's engineer, if he's got a racer, you would let him know that Yash Gosalia is probably not going to score points, as what's happened to Wicked Vicky as well. It's not been a good sprint start for the Scuderia right now. Meanwhile, Shadow Sword versus Oxidize, they go on to Hanger Straight. Shadow, he does have to defend it, but he knows that there's a high likelihood that he gains on Yash in this race right now, because Yash Gosali is in 16th and he is around 5-6 seconds away from points, which on a normal track, yes, it would be possible to make it up, but with the DRS trains that are going to start forming here, it might prove too tall of an order to get points. Do you guys think Yash will get points? For his championship's sake, I hope he does. But now let's watch around as they come around. Haas boys once again in unison here. Hopefully they don't make the pit crew work in the sprint race at least this time, as Caesar has built up quite a gap at this point. He is really pushing it now. He does not want to be in this DRS train that's going to build behind. It's all the way from Shadow Sword in second to Thakurva in 7th who are in this DRS train. And as we're doing that, let's check the position changes. Oh, what's happened? What happened? Oh, it's Abhishek. He's spun. That's not a good look right there. I think Gupta had spun earlier as well, because he was like 12th or something when I last saw it. What's happened to Jishnu? Jishnu spun as well. Oh no! That is not good news for the man who looked so in control of this championship. Three rounds in, I think it was. It's not really gone his way, has it? Him and Gosalia pretty much had the reverse luck. But as we're speaking of positions, Quick Killer, an absolute legend. He has gained 9 positions in a sprint race weekend. Anton with 5, Raman also with 9, Kalyan with 6. And he's just off of points, but Jishnu now hunting him down immediately. Easy Levels gains 7, but Easy Levels disconnected, I think. And that puts Mosquito up 9 places as well. The big losers, as what's happened to Abhi? Abhi's in the grass. Big losers, Captain Sandhu, we saw him spun around at the race start. Redstone's lost 8 positions as well. I don't know what happened with him at the start. Wicket Vick has lost 6. And Gosalia has done well to recover. He's already back up to P12. And he's almost back to where he qualified. So he's negated a lot of the damage that was caused earlier. Meanwhile, Shadow Sword does not look to have the pace, or anyone doesn't look to have the pace to keep up with Caesar right now. And because of this, they're all fighting each other. Caesar's in the distance right now. 2 seconds up. On the rest, Ahif and Quick Killer meanwhile have just started gapping Thakurva a bit. So Thakurva wants to stay with the pack here, the lead pack. Basically the lead pack. I mean the P1's not there, but still. And he's gonna need to start putting the hammer down. There's a slow moving Abhishek. I think it's spun again through there. Chugs meanwhile just trying to survive this race right now. So from what I'm noticing is that Caesar is really pulling away through sector 2, because they have caught up a bit to him here. And Ahif and Shadow, there's P2 and P3 in the championship if I'm not mistaken, so they need every point right now. Is crucial to them. As what's happened again? Chugs has blown a wing, and is that the safety car? Yes, it is. I think it's a virtual safety car though. I don't see the safety car. No, it is a safety car now. I am not gonna be a Malav Masi on stream here and get caught lacking. But that does neutralize. That is brilliant, epic news for one Yash Gosalia, because he now, meanwhile, Easy Level Pod might be pulling a 7,900 IQ play right here and going on to softs. Because by the time the safety car ends, it's not really going to matter. That the tires are not going to reach their wear limit, and he might end up gaining a lot of places through the DRS trains. But with the safety car in now, that has negated a lot of Caesar's advantage. But if he could do it off of a rolling start or off a standing start, the rolling start should prove no issue to him. He does seem to have a lot of pace through the short stints, but let's see with the longer race whether anyone can challenge his just pace right now. Of course, it's not all about pace. You have to keep your nose clean, have to keep the car in pointing the right way all the time. And that is good news for the likes of Thakurva as well, who just started to fall away from that lead group, and Anton was 7th. Rahman's 8th. Jishnu, it presents a brilliant chance for Jishnu to get back into the points. Um, now, uh, and of course, the biggest winner I think has to be Yash Gosalia, because he was, I don't want to say he was nowhere, but with the amount of laps left, you really wouldn't have backed him to score points given where he was. But now it's definitely possible now for him to not only score points, but score a fair chunk of them. As he's watching cars and catch up to the safety car. So I'm going to be interested in the easy level bot progression through the field right here, as what's happened to Reds, what's happening here. Did Redstone spin? I guess he did, because that's Captain Sandhu and Redstone. Why does Redstone not have a wing? Okay, that's something. A lot of penalties. Captain Sandhu is really slow now. As easy level gets a drive through for speeding under the safety car. Okay, so I might have jinxed him right there immediately. He didn't even get to the racing part of this, and I think he's just going to the place to retire now, because it doesn't really make much sense. Or is the Matlad going to strap on another set of soft tires? Also, that was a worrying amount of spins in a safety car period. You need to sharpen your game up, lads. You need to get on with it. As there is a slight break right now, let me just go and have a glass of water. This is where I will pass it off to my co-commentator. There is no co-commentator this week, so I just leave you listening to the totally not glitched sounds of this game for now. Bear with me a moment. Okay. After God's sweet nectar has been injected into me. Chips, hello Chips. Hopefully you're enjoying this so far. I mean, there's been a lot of drama right here, and nothing's even happened in terms of incidents. It's so excited right now. I think we found the other viewers of this stream, the guys bursting firecrackers. Right now, as what's Redstone doing? I don't understand. He got so many penalties. It's very confusing. So we're going to get 3 laps of racing, and that means DRS on the last lap. So if you are the leader right now, you need to make a 1 second gap in 2 laps. You can bet your bottom dollar Martin Brundle phrase right there. That's Brundle Bingo. That's a Brundle Bingo checklist that Caesar will be looking to push his heart out in these next 2 laps. Yeah, there has been a lot of drama, Chips. A lot of drama, and we haven't even seen people collide yet. Hopefully we don't see people collide at all. I wish no ill will upon the steward, that is Sidvi, but then I wish all ill will upon Basil. So yeah, as long as we can involve only Basil in the collisions happening, then yeah, just make Basil's life difficult is what I'm saying, drivers, because he does owe me a lot of money. Speaking of money, Malav Masi, if you are watching this, you still owe me $6,000. So kindly pay up at your nearest convenience. Actually, not even convenient, at my nearest convenience, which would be any moment now. Yeah. So personal matters aside, now I think the safety car should be coming in this lap. Hopefully, let's not drag this out. It's a 9-lap race. Yeah, just waiting now for the go ahead, really, because there's nothing much else to talk about. I admire Abhishek for not retiring, but I really don't see the point at this point, because all he's going to do really is just burn a set of tires. Same for easy level. I don't know what the game plan is here, because he does have a transfer penalty. Caesar's driving very close to the safety car right there. If this were a really petty thing, maybe they would report him for it. No, not in yet. Not in. So no DRS. It has been out for half the lap, and I thought it would be in anyway, because normally the game doesn't care anymore. But I guess it's waiting for Abhishek. So Abhishek is doing Caesar a solid right there, as Gupta pits for some reason and gets a 5 seconds of speeding on the pitch. Abhishek's doing Caesar a solid right there by being so far behind that the safety car had to stay out that extra lap. And Abhishek gets a 3-second time penalty. Hopefully, that is the glitch where you get a time penalty for every warning, because I don't want to believe you got 3 warnings just driving normally, and that too in 1 lap. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, if the safety car follows that logic, then this might just be the end of the race, lads, because yeah, they are still very far away, the Abhishek and Gupta. And Abhishek, I'm pretty sure, is having to follow Delta now for some reason, because he come to a dead stop on track. Yeah, unless this is some like criminal mastermind level scheme from Abhishek and Caesar, which if they did pull it off, we would give them a respect token as well as the black flag immediately. Or as I'm going to start renaming it now, the Psy flag, because, well, who do you really know name a circuit where he hasn't done it? The Lamau flag, if you will, to paraphrase from the legend himself. But yeah, hopefully we get some running now, because this has gone on long enough. I think even Bernd Nylander is sick of driving around so long. Yeah, it is in this lap, so we should get 2 laps of racing here, thankfully, because could you make out that I was running out of stuff to talk about people. So we follow on Oxidizer's POV. When is Caesar going to launch, and when is Oxidize going to how is Oxidize going to react? Reliance is gone already. That is very, very early. I think he's counting on people to have colder tires and just mess up a bit. As Shadow goes very wide, and he did have to slow down coming back onto the track, but I think everyone is pretty whoa, cold tires, and as soon as I say that, quick killer has hit the wall into the barrier. That is that sucks for him. He had made up so many positions on that restart. That is very, very cruel fate right there. And Oxidize now is able to keep up with Caesar. I feel like this is just to burn your ERS race now, and you can tell through slipstream he's catching, but he's not going to be close enough. Are there any overtakes on the horizon? Yash Gosalia on Kalyan. Remember, even if he doesn't get points for it, he can start in a better grid slot, as Abhishek has spun again. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're following on to the lead battle now, and Oxidize is able to keep up with Caesar through this section. Now Wicked Vicky, meanwhile, he's seen his teammate do it. He's now trying to go through on Kalyan Verma, but he's a notchman. Oh no! Oh no, what have I just seen? To paraphrase from another band with the same name, what have I just seen? Oh no. Oh no. I prefer not to speak. That is... I have no words for that. I have no words for that. I really don't, as Oxidize makes a misstep as soon as I was about to focus on the lead battle, which will allow Shadow to have a go at him and get back that P2 that he lost at the race start. And now we come on to the final lap of the sprint. What's happened now? I see a car. It's Gupta who has spun around, which will allow Abhi to overtake him, as Raman and Jishnu going side by side, and Jishnu needs to be careful here because Yash Gosale is right behind him, and he will seize any opportunity to strike at him. Meanwhile, Shadow also trying to get through on Oxidize. 2/10 the gap. They can't really make much happen out there. Now, oh, Jishnu spun! Jishnu spun! No way! And wait, that Raman also spun. Yes! So that is a freebie for Yash Gosalia right there. And from when it was looking so bad for him at the beginning of the sprint quali, when he was dead last, on lap 1, he is now P7 and able to rescue 2 points. As Captain Sandhu gets 3 seconds, and that he's already outside the points. And for easy level, if he didn't have that drive through, which is going to give him 20 seconds now, it would have been very, very beneficial. But unfortunately, he will be getting strapped to the 20 seconds. But meanwhile, Caesar, he has managed to clear out now after that mistake from Oxidize, and he is going to round the final few corners to take the Sprint King, to be the Sprint King. In Great Britain, Caesar wins, Oxidize in P2, Shadow 3rd, IF 4th, Thakurva 5th, Anton in 6th, Yash Gosalia in P7. He was absolutely flooring it to get that P6 right at the end. Mosquito 8th, Captain Sandhu, Jishnu 9th. Penalties are now going to start to be applied here as easy level takes away the fastest lap from Yash. Right at the end. Just goes to show how fast Yash was driving, because he was doing that while battling on this lap and catching up to Anton. But yeah, that will be that as Abhishek crosses the line. That is a pretty hectic scene right there. And in 26 laps, if that was 9 laps, what will 26 laps of this look like? I shudder at the thought, but I'm also excited at the thought of what 26 laps of this will look like. But from top to bottom, once again, it's Caesar in P1, Oxidize in P2, Shadow in P3, IF P4, Thakura P5, Anton P6, Yash Gosalia P7. Solid recovery drive. Mosquito in P8 gets us last one. Jishnu in P9, Captain Sandhu in P10, Raman 11th, Abhi 12th, Easy Level for 13th, Gupta 14th, Abhishek 15th, Wicket Vicky 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th. I think these Abhishek's downwards are all DNFs. So yeah, that is your starting grid for the Silverstone British GP. That was definitely something to marvel at. But now we get set for the main course. Nice appetizer right there. I am definitely on for this. Hopefully this is as entertaining as more people stop by now as soon as the race is about to start. Haven't gotten any indication from my just another thing, if you are chatting in any Discord server right now, kindly bring that noise here so that we have some interactivity, because I feel like it's just me talking to the void right now. Yeah, luckily, hopefully this lobby doesn't glitch, otherwise that's gonna be a big pain in the neck is the part that I'm gonna use as the festival occurs around my house. Now, tire choice. What's everyone gone for here? Some differentials here. To top 2 on hard, Shadow on mediums, and Thakura on mediums. So they're splitting the difference here in the top 5 of what they want to go for. Anton on mediums, Gosalia, Mosquito, Jishto on hards. Then there's a 3-man train of Captain Sandhu, Raman and Abhi on mediums, Easy Level and Gupta on hards, Abhishek's on mediums, Wicket Vicky on hards, Kalyan on softs, Quick Killer, Redstone and Chugs, and then make up the rest of the hard tire trio. So counting down, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people on hards, 7 on mediums, and 1 lone man in Kalyan Verma carrying the soft tire flag. We don't have URL Pradeep this week, so normally he is the spokesperson for this. Type of noise, so just for URL Pradeep, we are taking care of the quota that you need to have. Then you need to have a soft tire on a podium prediction. I think Caesar has this. He looked very imperious in that sprint race. I think I'm hoping that Shadow Thakurva do something. My heart's with them, but my head says Gosalia and Ahif. So Caesar, Ahif, Gosalia. That's my prediction. As Abhishek gets himself disqualified from the formation lab as well. I don't know what is up really uh, with that. As I can't hear Redstone does volume from the broadcast. Chugs has spun on the. So there's this epic tire heat up montage right there. Get it on those 2015 YouTube compilations with like heavy dubstep. Right there was Call of Duty style. He just 360'd himself into a DSQ. Right there. And we wait now as Caesar takes him through. No formation lab lead change drama this time. Like it was in sprint as Caesar does our epic one out and then. As did my I got scared there. I thought my game crashed for a second. Because you know that's been the thing. Oh yeah, that is a streak as well. Will it happen 5 times out of 5? We see a very weird lineup right there. I didn't really catch on to what he was doing. But look at how tilted he is. If Oxidize gets a better start, they are going straight into that wall right there if they happen to collide with each other. But yeah, you can definitely see as the lights go out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights out, and away we go. Oxidize gets a better start than Caesar, who has had a bit of a mess. Shadow uses Caesar's unusual starting position to get a brilliant launch, as there's no real car blocking him, and now because of that he's on Caesar. Right now he's on his case. Meanwhile, behind, the usual drama has occurred again at the melee, if you will. No car spun around to 7. I said that's what Ahif has been spun around immediately. There's a big car park. Meanwhile, Shadow and Caesar going side by side into this slower section right here. They're going on to Wellington State now. Hopefully, okay, that has aged incredibly well, because Yash Gosalia is already in P4. Shrikant. That's an opinion that we all can actually respect. Yash is really close behind Oxidize, but he knows of anyone that he doesn't really need to go for it right now. He can wait around, because Shadow is the one who really needs to get this move done, because he's on mediums. So if he can't get it done now, he's gonna struggle later on when everyone else is on mediums. And there is a fuel watch right here. Hopefully these numbers aren't accurate, because some of them might struggle without safety cars. Meanwhile, Yash Gosalia has made a bit of an error as Takumak was around clean through on the outside. He pounces on a mistake as Jishnu in P6 looks on to the leading pack, as I think Shadows just had a bit of a misstep through there. Difficult to follow through dirty air. Of course, as Redstone pits on lap 1, so does Gupta. I think they have been damaged. Back to the fight at the front. Caesar leads them on. I think Shadow will want to get a move on. So will Thakur, while those guys are on. The tires are going to wear faster. Not necessarily a disadvantage, of course, if they can't make the overtake, but of course the overcut that these guys are going to do is going to be less effective if Shadow can make this move and then build up more of a gap. It's going to be tougher for them to catch up to him later on. As we see, he's clearly faster right now because of the corner exits. We'll just see it. Will he have to wait for DRS though, is my question through here. And Gosalia really didn't fight it because he knows that he's going to get stuck in a DRS pattern right now. I think his experience at this point should prove to be, it should be decisive. Shadow and Caesar, speaking of experience, they have a lot of it. Heaps of it, in fact. As it's Shadow trying, he's almost just pushing Caesar around at this point. I think he knows with DRS he can make this move stick. What he needs to do now is not like overly burn his tires out in this pursuit. As the lead back is going all the way down to Quick Killer 8. Once again managed to recover from that absolutely calamitous ending to his race in the previous one. It's a mixed bag at the top. Yes, that's what makes it fun, Chips. And meanwhile, who has spun. No, my Chugs is moonwalking across the start-finish straight. Meanwhile, hopefully that doesn't cause a safety car for Shadow's sake, because he's finally for the first time got DRS on Caesar. He tries to go down the inside. Caesar doesn't really fight it. Can he get the grip on the outside now to try, or is he going to wait and hopefully try and hang on through the DRS zones? Meanwhile, Thakurva has really gotten gobbled up in all of that. And one thing now is we will find out who's not made the mistake of running too high a tire pressure, as I think there's a spinner here somewhere. I have a feeling as Jishnu and Captain Sandhu going side by side through. And then into the inter magazine bucket, there is slight contact, but nothing really that you should get too fussed about. I think Caesar now will just be using this DRS to defend from the threat of Oxidize, because those are hard tire runners. And now we're definitely into DRS zone territory as Kalyan Verma gets a 3 seconds for cutting corner on the straight. That has to be a delayed message, because there's no way. As you see, I think Quick Killer has a lot of pace, because he's actually catching up now, if you notice, to the likes of the guys on hard tires. To the guys on mediums as well in this pack. And it's not like the pack is driving that slow. They are the pace setters on that tire, so he is definitely carrying pace similar to Caesar and Oxidize right now. So even include Gosalia in that, as I suffer an aneurysm right there and get that sentence out. Meanwhile, Racing Gupta is really not gone all his way. Chugs has left the session. Hopefully he rejoins, because he didn't retire in the pits if he was going to go. Hopefully that doesn't cause a safety car when his car comes back out. Meanwhile, Shadow, Caesar, the gap staying constant. I think Shadow will be a bit worried now, because I think would have wanted to break that gap by 1 second. Yash Gosalia spun! That's a drama right there, ladies and gentlemen. Yash Gosalia has spun. He did such a good job to get himself back up to that position through the sprint race, and he's just thrown all of it away in that one corner. It's that corner as well for the Mercedes fan. If it had to be any corner, it's not a laughing matter. It is hilarious in its irony. I guess that would be ironic. Or would that be a coincidence? Grammar majors, let me know in the chat. But that has turned, as Sakura just doesn't seem to be able to stick with the top 3 right now, and that has turned the front fight into a top 3 shootout right now, as I think Oxidize and Caesar have a lot of pace here. They are able to constantly run in the DRS of Shadow. And will Oxidize be able to keep up with Caesar, because he wasn't able to do it in the sprint race for a consistent amount of time without what's happened here? The Chelsea spun again. Would he be able to keep up with Caesar once the slower car, I shall say, of Shadow in this, the pace car becomes Caesar, because he was able to set some blinding laps in the mid stint as Chugs is about to get lapped, unfortunately for him. Meanwhile, as soon as Thakurva doesn't have the pace to keep up, I think crossplay is on Chips, because I'm not the lobby host. And I remember that the last lobby that I raced in had crossplay on. So, meanwhile, look at this line from Captain Sandhu. Look at that defensive line. There's an absolute move. As Jishnu has finally gotten past Thakurva. And are we coming to the point now where mediums are slower than hards? It's only been 5 laps. So, for a long stint, I wouldn't think that would be the case. Like, already, it is really early in the day. I would have thought at least 7 to 8 laps. We are nearing that territory now, but look at Oxidize. He is on the back. He's basically glued to Caesar's car. Hopefully Chugs' car doesn't cause a safety car when he comes back out. As Thakurva now just sends one on Jishnu, and he gets DRS as well. That is a smart one right there because he made it stick clean with no DRS assistance. That means the Captain Sandhu is gonna pull it up over it, take out two around the outside. No, he goes a bit off track, which allows Jishnu to come back at him, trying to hold that outside line. But I think they all got away with it clean. They all got away with the noses clean in the end. And Quick Killer takes the most opportune overtake I have seen so far. Right there. And from being P4, Jishnu's gone all the way down to P7. I think that deserves to be on an overtakes of the season compilation. Both the one on the outside from Sandhu and then the move from Quick Killer. Meanwhile, this Vicky getting 3 seconds, and they have really started to gap Ramen in 6th right now. Hopefully, Vicky can change that. And these guys, I hope they realize they're letting the lead back kind of get away from them. As Jishnu tries to go around the inside through the final corner onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton straight. They go, and the top 3 meanwhile are also getting so close. I have no idea where to look right now. They're really all quite compact now. Now we wait for the DRS zones again. No move from Captain Sandhu and Thakurva this time because he's not close enough. They all funnel out. Thakurva gets a bad exit coming off of there, which is going to allow Captain Sandhu to really just breeze past him. Was he trying to play DRS games? I don't think so. I think he genuinely lost his acceleration because it doesn't make much sense to play DRS games that late into the corner. You would really have to do it, I think, off the exit of turn 2 itself. As we all follow them now, pretty drama-free lap this time around, and if it's the sort of drama that it was on the last lap, then we heavily encourage that type. Yeah, that's some really good battles going on. I would agree with you, Chips, but nothing's really popped off at the front. Caesar is having so much patience. He's really putting the pressure on Shadow to lead this race. The psychological battle that he's playing right now, and I think Shadow, he should recognize it right now. He seeks to do he seeks to put a lot of hurt onto his championship rivals because both of them are not in the points right now. As of this moment, early on in the race, still early on, but Caesar almost spins off the track and Oxidize. How has he avoided that Abdul Samad? As soon as Abdul shows up into the, it's also, why did you rename your channel? But I'm just gonna I'm gonna stop at that. But the Oxidize is fun. The Oxidize is fun. The IRL drama, the LOS drama. I mean, oh my God, what is happening right there? I just don't know what to say. Caesar almost spins coming off of the last corner, and then Oxidize spins 2 corners later. Mamma mia, which has brought this battle now of Thakurva and Captain Sandhu into podium fight. And that leaves Shadow with actually a bit of breathing room to really calculate his stops. But look at how much faster Caesar is now. He has cut 3/10 through a straight and a long corner. Public demand, I really wouldn't want to meet certain drivers after this race if I were you, Abdul. For your sake, I do say this for your sake. Meanwhile, Quick Killer from nowhere, I think like everyone below P2 will be quite happy. They've inherited 3 positions. Now, by the law of as Quick Killer, now Thakurva pits. That is an early one right there. So he is gonna dictate really now. Where is he gonna come out? Can he come out in a gap? That is what his goal is going to be. When he starts fading away that fast, as you can see, Caesar can just take a much tighter line and break much later than Shadow now. And he's of course going to gain through that section. As I said that he loses time through that section, so he's not really supporting my theories here. Now Quick Killer, he does seem to have the pace. Now he is setting the pace for Jishnu ahead, and I think if I were Jishnu, I wouldn't really try and fight him right now because Quick Killer does seem to be having some serious wheel ability right now through these parts. And as long as he doesn't do what he did in the sprint race, he should be on for a really good result, especially since I think Captain Sundar has 3 seconds. Yes, he does have the 3 seconds. Where did Thakurva come out, guys? He came out in P15 in a gap. So that's exactly what he would have wanted. I think Shadow will know this, and I think he should be coming in a lap or two, because he is about to get overtaken by Caesar. He does not want to waste time battling. Remember, the gap between Thakurva and Shadow was not really that much on track. It was like 2 seconds. What's happened? Mosquito has spun, but kept it on track. Quick killer and Jishnu, as you do, lads, as you do. We thoroughly encourage that. So, if Shadow waffles about too much here, he's gonna lose out on track position to Thakurva. Hearts don't really seem to be firing off right now, because Thakurva has actually lost time to Anton since he pit. But of course, the first lap is pain on any tires. Is just exaggerated by the Hearts because of their tendency to not want to heat up. And we have some threats going on for another league, or is that for tomorrow? I don't know. I should give a shout out to Yash Gosalia, by the way.